Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. Our focus today is on a statewide program that engages and excites thousands of Vermont school kids every year. It is the 4-H Embryology program. Embryology is a school enrichment program that's offered in public, private, and home schools. And because it's a 4-H program, there's an emphasis on hands-on learning. So to find out what's hatching in this year's program, I'm joined by the UVM Extension 4-H educator who directs the embryology program statewide. Her name is Martha Manning, and she's connecting with us via Zoom from the Extension office in St. Albans. Martha, so good to have you back across the fence.
It's wonderful to finally be back.
And you look marvelous. I just love it. So,
well, to many of the students who participate in this program, I'm known as Ms. Chicken. So today we're dressing the part.
Okay, awesome. So to get us started, what is the embryology program?
The embryology program is a hands-on enrichment program done by many schools, home schools, daycares throughout Vermont, in which the classroom incubates fertile eggs, and they study about chickens and eggs, and and they wait the 21 days for these chicks to hatch. And so there's a lot of anticipation, and it's something that these students remember forever.
Oh, absolutely. Just seeing them hold them in their hands is so beautiful. So now is the time to sign up. What does a teacher or a parent need to do to sign up?
So they would contact me through the St. Albans Extension office, and they can call 802-524-6501, extension 440. Or the best way would be to email martha.manning@uvm.edu.
Okay, great. So the kids are just having a great time, but the embryology program focuses on more than just science. Talk about the multidisciplinary aspects of the program and why that's so important.
So many of the teachers use this, for multiple disciplines. They write about what they think is going to happen with the chicks. They keep little journals. They use it for art projects. They draw chicks. They can make chicks out of a variety of art materials, and they also can use it for the science, of course, but it's a great way to incorporate it in many of their lesson plans throughout the 21 days. And then many of the teachers will keep the chicks for 4 or 5 days after they hatch. So they've got a month of good solid hands-on learning in every area of the classroom.
Yeah, awesome. So the eggs, the incubator, the curriculum, who provides all those key pieces of the program?
So the schools own the incubators, and if they have an automatic turner, they own those as well. We do have a few that we lend out for people who are maybe trying the program for the first time. But for the most part, we can provide them with a way to order those materials. And so that allows most of the teachers all have the same type of incubator. So they're preset for temperature and humidity for hatching chicks, and that takes some of the guesswork out of the program.
Right. And the eggs, obviously, they need to be fertile eggs. It's not what you can get at the grocery store, even with your next door neighbor.
Well, they are fertile eggs, and they have the option of either purchasing fertile eggs through us, or they could get them from a local farm if they knew they were fertile.
Okay. And what happens after the chicks do hatch? You said they stay in the classroom for a couple days, but then what?
They stay in the classroom for a few days, so that gives the students the opportunity to learn about, what kind of an environment those chicks need once they hatch. And it's pretty surprising to them when they first hatch that they're not nice and fluffy chicks like you see in books or, in a feed store. They're
Mm.
kind of wet and they're kind of ugly looking. So they learn about the environment that they need to be kept in a brooder area that needs to be about 95 to 99 degrees,
Hmm.
and that they then need feed and water. And then once the chicks, they can either find them a home or they are returned to us, and we have some local farms that raise them out.
Okay, great. And is this a good pandemic option? I mean, some kids are at school, more kids are homeschooling. They might not have the incubators that they have at the schools. How is that working out, or is that an option?
It is an option, and some of the teachers even did this program last spring when it was really tough. They
Mm.
had just gone into virtual mode, but some of the teachers said they felt it was important for their students to have this hands-on experience. So some of them did it with webcams,
Hmm.
and students could connect from home to monitor the chicks. Um, some of them had them. So some of these teachers just, they are so amazing that last year, because the students were mostly all virtual, and they had maybe set up a webcam, so they could see the eggs. Some of them really went way above and beyond, and they did what they called chicken trains. So after the chicks had hatched, they loaded these chicks in a tote in their car, and they would drive around to every student's home. So each student still had the opportunity to touch a chick, or to handle a chick, because the teacher would take the tote out of her car, set it down, and then she would back away so there was the proper distancing, and then the students would come out of their house and approach the tote and be able to handle the chicks.
Fantastic.
It is adaptable, and these people were just amazing.
Well, why do young students get so excited about this program? What's the magic? Is it the hands-on? Is it that
I
21
think it's
days?
the hands-on. I think it's the fact that the majority of our students are multiple generations removed from agriculture.
Hmm.
They have never experienced that wonder of seeing, a fertile egg, and then, after they've had the eggs in the incubator for about 7 to 10 days, most of the teachers candle the eggs, so that's where they shine a bright light through the egg, and you can actually see if the chick is starting to develop. So
Mm.
they've never really experienced, and then watching the chicks hatch. Most of the kids think it's going to be a pretty quick process,
Mm.
and it can take hours.
Yeah, those
So
shells
in
are
a
pretty hard.
society where everything is quick and instant, this is something that takes time, and the anticipation is there.
Great. So generations of Vermonters have really gone through the embryology program. What are some of the comments and reflections that you get from some of your former students?
If I go to a school and encounter older students, all they have to see is me carrying an incubator, and they also know that it's the time of year when embryology happens. And so they always hear wonderful comments about, what they learned, and that they hope, that other kids get to experience the same thing.
Yeah, and teachers and parents, they must love it. Love it.
They do love it, and it's like I said, it's one way to bring agriculture into a classroom, and for students to gain a better understanding of where food comes from. These are meat chickens. They're a commercial strain of meat chickens, so it also helps them to learn about,
Hmm.
farm to plate.
Sure. And how do you assess the program? I mean, is there an assessment process there?
There are evaluations that are done with the teachers, or some are done with the students to assess, are they gaining life skills through this project.
Right, awesome. And again, for parents that might be interested in bringing this home, I mean, can you set up an incubation area or do something at home that's not buying an incubator? Is that
You could
possible?
set up an incubator at home. The thing with the incubators is that it controls the temperature, so it maintains that temperature at about 99.5 degrees. The humidity is critical for the development of the chick, so it helps to maintain that humidity. There are plans online
Hmm.
in how you can build an incubator yourself, so you would have another level of a science project. Or, if you were thinking about trying this, maybe contact me and maybe we would
There.
still have an incubator available.
Okay, fantastic. And some of the kids, do you have a favorite piece of artwork or poetry? I mean, I can imagine that kind of that piece must be so interesting and rewarding.
I do. I mean, I don't really have a favorite. I just love to see what they write. And it's also a way for students to learn that things don't always turn out as we expect.
Hmm.
And even at a young age, and they're very matter of fact about it. We put 24 eggs in our incubator, and Mrs. So and so came in and moved the furniture and unplugged our incubator, and she killed our embryos.
Oh.
And so oftentimes I have eggs set here at the office so I can take them more eggs.
Great.
Um,
But
but the teacher was absolutely heartbroken when she did that.
and I'm
The
sure her
students were
classroom
just
was.
like, oh, well, we'll hatch some more.
You make it happen. Martha Manning, it's amazing. So a final reminder before we go about if a teacher or a parent is interested, they can still sign up. What do they need to do?
Contact me through UVM Extension. Best way is email martha.manning@uvm.edu, or give the St. Albans office a call, 802-524-6501, extension 440. And if you're not a teacher, but maybe you'd like to sponsor an incubator for a school, reach out as well.
Fantastic. Martha Manning, we love to see you. You are looking fabulous. Have a wonderful and successful season with your embryology program. Thank you so much for
It's
joining
an exciting time of year.
us. Indeed. Okay. And once again, thank you for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. Stay well.